Hoover, Alabama, with LSU catcher Nick Coomes batting 7th Tuesday night against Mississippi State. The Hoover Met loudspeakers briefly blared out the Doors, 5-1, 5-1, babyOne and fiveNo. One here gets out alive. For one of these teams, Jim Morrison's voice from the beyond proved to be ominously prophetic. One chance. In or out. Advance or retreat. Enhance the NCAA tournament resume, or anxiously watch, hope, twist in the wind until the bids are revealed Monday. After the music cut out, Coomes launched a sacrifice fly to center on a high arc. Antoine Duplantis, who later tripled, and Hal Hughes with another big run an inning later, trotted home to give LSU a 2-run lead. One of a slew of clutch hits for the Tigers that after a time matched up with some clutch pitching in an 8-5 LSU victory over its eternal baseball arch-rival. Just another win in a long line of them in this tournament for the Tigers, who are now a scarcely believable 32-6 year under coach Paul Mainieri since 2008. But perhaps few early round games over a glittering decade have been as meaningful. In past years, the Tigers came here gunning for tournament trophies and NCAA tournament national seedings. This time the name of the game was survival. Maybe LSU, 34-23, was already in the NCAA tournament. Maybe it was not, but surviving to play at least 2 more games here in the SEC tournament, beginning Wednesday with a 4:30 p.m. game, that's the alleged start time, against No. 1 Florida, sure has to take a lot of the guesswork out of it. In terms of making a good presentation before the committee, this was huge. Though State 31-25 did not have as good an overall record as LSU, the Bulldogs are now 1-3 mark against the Tigers this season. They had a No. 26 RPI after sweeping Florida last week. It was at the high point of one heck of a salvage job by interim coach Gary Henderson. The Bulldogs, of course, were a mess after Andy Canizzaro's embarrassing resignation 1 week into the season. LSU won 2 of 3 over State in Baton Rouge in March. The Tigers were a nifty 29-8 this spring at Alex Box Stadium. But the road, well, it has been a pothole-strewn mess for LSU, which had just 4 wins in 19 games coming in away from the box. As Morrison said, make this 1-5. Tuesday's trip to Hoover Metropolitan Stadium, the Alex Box of the East, so to speak, was apparently the tonic the Tigers needed to at least momentarily cure their road woes. This one opened as just another bumpy road to nowhere for LSU. The Tigers started Nick Bush, but his pitching skills were not at all functioning on a fine edge. He had trouble finding the strike zone, and when he did, he ran into Bulldog bats. State threatened and threatened in the first 2 innings and finally chased him with a pair of runs in the third. It was 3-0 State in the 5th before the Tigers' bats awoke. They spent the rest of the game scoring in Noah's Ark-like fashion, by twos, with pairs of runs in the 5th through 8th innings. Zach Hess, converted into a rather desperate reliever for 3 innings after starting at Auburn this past Thursday, also gave up 2 runs over 3 similarly shaky innings to the ones Bush delivered. The rest of LSU's bullpen work, particularly from Devin Fontenot and closer Todd Peterson, put a tourniquet on the Tigers' hemorrhaging fortunes with just 1 run surrendered the rest of the way. Before the game ended, more mood music. This time, Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. The feeling was an LSU victory in the SEC tournament, a familiar shot of good vibes for the Tigers and evil music to their opponents. How far can LSU go here in Hoover? Have the Tigers truly done enough to be safely locked away in the NCAA's field of 64? All will be revealed in the coming days. But on this day, which started with a threatening and different reality for LSU, the Tigers ended up dancing to the oldies of their very own hit parade. Follow Scott Rabalais on Twitter, @Rabalais.